Every year on January 4th, wrestling fans are treated to one of the best and most consistent wrestling shows of the year when New Japan Pro Wrestling rolls out Wrestle Kingdom. And Wrestle Kingdom 13 looks like it's going to be no different. With an absolutely stacked card, every match on the show looks like it's a potential show stealer. I'm going to give you my predictions on who I think is going to win and why. Going in order from top to bottom is a number one contendership pre-show gauntlet match for the Never Trios titles, and this match is going to feature the team of Ryusuke Taguchi, Toru Yano, and Togi Makabe against David Finlay, Jeff Cobb, and Yuji Nagata, against Best Friends and Hiroki Goto, against Killer Elite Squad and Minoru Suzuki, against Marty Scurll, Yujiro Takahashi, and Hangman Page. The Never Trios titles are honestly kind of treated like an afterthought most of the time, and 2/3 of the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, the Guerrillas of Destiny, hold these titles as well, and I think Killer Elite Squad and Minoru Suzuki are going to win this though, because they're one of the only teams on here who kind of feel like they're a little bit of a threat, and they're one of the only teams in this match where each guy is a stablemate, so I could definitely see them taking this title. The first match on the main card of the show is the Never Openweight Championship match between Kota Ibushi and Will Ospreay. And even though this match was just added not too long ago, this is already becoming one of the most anticipated matches on the entire card. And that says a lot given how good this card is. If you saw their action in tag team match not too long ago, then you definitely understand why people want to see this match. I think it's going to be crazy, but I don't think Ibushi's going to lose. I don't think they want to hotshot this title too much. I know that that's kind of what the Never Openweight title is for, and it usually doesn't have a home that long. But I think Ibushi's going to retain, and I think they kind of want to keep it on him. He hasn't held a title prior to this in, I think it was 4 years, so I don't see why they would take that off of him just yet. But I do think that eventually Will Ospreay is going to win this title, and I think this is going to be the title that'll transition him from the junior heavyweight division up to the heavyweight division. I just don't think it's his time right now, though. The second match on the card is the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match between Kanemaru and Desperado against Roppongi 3K against the LIJ team of Bushi and Shingo Takagi. Takagi is a really exciting wrestler, and since he was just brought over to New Japan not too long ago, I think they're going to be the team that wins it, and they think that they need a little bit of gold. It's going to be cool to see Bushi hold gold as well, and this is another match that should be pretty exciting on the show, but not one of the more anticipated or one of the most looked forward to matches on the show, but one that I certainly think is going to deliver. The next match is the Rev Pro Championship match between Tomohiro Ishii and Zack Sabre Jr., and I think Ishii is going to win mostly for the fact that ZSJ's held this title twice for a combined run of almost 700 days. I think it was 695 to be exact. And I don't think he really needs to do anything else with this title. Everybody in the UK knows who he is, and he doesn't really need this title to do anything for him. And Ishii won this title not that long ago. It's only been about a 70-day reign or something like that. So I don't think that they're going to want to take this title off of him. But I do expect this to be a really solid, hard-hitting match with Zack Sabre Jr. kind of holding it down with his technical submission prowess and Ishii making his trademark comeback. And I think that this will be a match that also delivers on the card as well, and one that could surprise a lot of people. Next up, we have the Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match between the Guerrillas of Destiny, Evil and Sonata, and the Young Bucks. And I do not see the Guerrillas of Destiny losing the titles just yet. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa have mastered the art of being assholes, and I'm not sure that New Japan's going to want to take the titles off of them because they have such great heat. And even though I can see the LIJ team beating them, I'm not sure it's going to happen because I think both of those guys have really good singles runs in them, and I think that they're kind of due for that. And also with the Young Bucks being in this match, it kind of feels like a send-off for them because the LIJ team did win World Tag League, and that's what the match was supposed to be, but the Young Bucks kind of inserted themselves into that match. And although I'm not complaining because I think this is going to be a really sick three-way tag team match, I'm just not sure that the Bucks are going to win it and kind of leave and do their all-elite thing. So I think GOD is going to take this. Next up is the US Heavyweight Championship match between champion Cody and Juice Robinson. Cody beat Juice for this title in the summer, and I think this is Juice's time to get that title back. This is likely going to be Cody's last match in New Japan, after announcing that his Ring of Honor Final Battle match was his last match in ROH. I firmly expect this to be his last match in New Japan for the time being, and I also think this is the perfect opportunity to let Juice get that win back. He's great at being that resilient babyface, and I think this is going to be a huge comeback win for him. I do expect them to put on something pretty special here because Juice is great at being that resilient babyface, and I think that they have a really great blend of characters and styles, and I think Juice is going to get his title back here and have a lengthy reign that we thought he was going to have originally with the title. I also think that with this next title run, if he wins it, this is going to be kind of Juice's breakout run. I think everybody kind of recognizes that he's an excellent babyface and he's kind of due to break out, and I think this is going to be the title run that does it for him. After that, we have the junior heavyweight match between Kushida and Taiji Ishimori. I expect Kushida to win this match, and I'm not really that confident in saying that, but I don't think that they're going to hot potato this title. I really miss Hiromu Takahashi, as I know everyone else does, and I would love to see him come back in the summer or sometime next year and just take out everybody and get his title back. But for now, I think Kushida's going to hold it down. He's most definitely the staple of this division, and it's obvious that they trust him a ton to give him this vacant title and kind of hold it down for a little while, and I expect him to keep doing that. And as far as Taiji Ishimori, I'm totally impressed with him. I think he's really excellent and really well-rounded, similar to the way Kushida is, because I think Kushida is one of the best wrestlers in the world when it comes to all-around everything. But I don't think he's going to take it right now, and I think this could be one of the best matches on the show, if not the best. The next match is a very personal fight between Okada and Jay White. Okada hasn't been in the title picture since he dropped the title, and Jay White is fairly new to New Japan. Of course, Jay White joined Okada's stable Chaos when he first came up, turned on Okada in the summer, stole Gato in the process, and then became the leader of the Bullet Club. This was a really hard match to predict because Okada hasn't been in the title picture since he dropped the title last June to Kenny Omega at Dominion, and it kind of feels like he's ready to move right back up that card. But at the same time, Jay White is very young, and it's obvious that the company's extremely high on him. To be inserted into the Intercontinental Championship match last Wrestle Kingdom against Tanahashi when Jay White was a real newcomer and not a lot of people even knew who the hell he was at that point, really told you a lot about how highly they viewed him. And that's only stuck because in the G1, he beat Okada and Tana in back-to-back nights. And yes, they weren't clean finishes, but it still carries weight. And I think Jay White's going to win this one too, because I think they're going to continue that push. And I think that maybe at Dominion or just moving forward, he'll probably be a heavyweight title challenger. I really think he's going to get that high this year. And as far as Okada, I think Okada can take this loss, and I know that they're going to want to have him main event big shows soon, and I expect to see that super serious champion-like Okada that we're used to seeing instead of the balloon. I think that we're going to get that Okada soon, but not right now. I think that Jay White is going to beat him fairly clean. I don't think he's going to cheat to win or rely on heavy interference in this match. Maybe we'll see a little bit of it, but I don't think that that's greatly going to factor into the decision. I think that doing that would kind of defeat the purpose of what this match is supposed to do for both of these guys, and I just think that this match really is designed to springboard Jay White, and I think that's exactly what we're going to see. The next match is the semi-main event of the show, the Intercontinental Championship match between Chris Jericho and Tetsuya Naito. Jericho beat Naito for this title at Dominion in the summer, and I think Naito's getting his title and his win back here. In that match, it was very one-sided with Jericho basically brawling him. He didn't even let Naito take off his suit. And I think this match is going to be the complete opposite. I think Naito's really going to get him here. I would expect that there's going to be a lot of people from the US who might not be diehard New Japan fans or really that familiar with the product who are going to watch this, and this might be their first look at Tetsuya Naito. So I think this is probably the biggest match of Naito's career in that regard. And I know Jericho loves to say that. He loves to say that he made him famous and he didn't want to do it again. And he said the same shit about Evil. But this really is a big deal. And I think Naito's going to win the title back. And I expect it to be pretty one-sided in Naito's favor. I could be wrong, but I do expect a clean finish and Naito to have a very successful Intercontinental Championship run after this. We also don't know what the status of Jericho is moving forward. I would suspect that he's probably not going to work in New Japan for a little while now. I don't know if he's going to go to WWE. Totally not sure. That's a guess. That's total speculation, but I definitely think he's going to drop the title here. And finally, we get to the main event of the show, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship match between Kenny Omega and Hiroshi Tanahashi. This was a really tough call for me because I can't tell if Omega's going to leave New Japan to work All Elite Wrestling if that actually happens. And we know that if All Elite Wrestling happens, Kenny Omega surely is going to be a part of that. But what I'm unsure about is whether or not he's going to have to leave New Japan to work All Elite Wrestling. And with Cody saying that Ring of Honor Final Battle was his last match, Hangman and the Young Bucks saying the same thing, this likely being all of their last match at Wrestle Kingdom for New Japan, we just don't know about Kenny Omega. He hasn't said that yet because he's the champion and he can't say that. But I think there's a great chance that that's what's going to happen because he's probably going to be a big part of All Elite Wrestling. And if they're going to make themselves exclusive to that, then there's a good chance he is too. But again, that's also speculation and I don't have word on that. That word has not come out. But with that being said, I think that's the reason he's going to drop the title here. If I knew Omega was going to stay, he would definitely be my pick because I think New Japan would want to give him a much longer run. Even though holding it from June to January, about a 6-month reign, that's not bad at all. I think that he has a longer run in him if they chose to do so, and I think that if he was going to be committed to the company moving forward, that is what they would choose to do. But since there's a good chance he is going to leave, I think Tana's going to win the title back. And Tanahashi's really just a special figure in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I think having him as the champion is going to create the opportunity for a lot of new potential challengers. It's going to create opportunity to see a Jay White or an Ishii or maybe an Ibushi or somebody else. I guess the real question would be whether or not this is Kenny Omega's last match in New Japan. And if he loses, then I fully expect that to be true, at least for the time being. That'll do it for my predictions for Wrestle Kingdom 13. Make sure you come back to this video after I get all my predictions right so you can brag to everybody about how much of a genius I am. But seriously, if you're looking for more content on WWE, New Japan, or just all things wrestling, make sure you stay tuned and subscribe so you can see more.